Hello, and welcome to Black Shirt Beer Reviews. This is our inaugural episode, so hooray for you for watching something new. This is going to be a monthly show where myself, the Reinaas, breaks down some different type of beers. Generally going to have some sort of running theme for each month, but don't hold me to that. You never know what's going to happen.
He's saying he's unreliable.
Hey everybody, look! Trev of Jake and Trev Review Everything are here.
That's me.
Which leads me to part of what's going on here. Myself, the Reinaas, I'm going to try and break things down a little bit more complex, running on the lines of sort of borderline beer snobbery. And every month my guest, of course this month being Trevor, is going to be more along the lines of the everyday. So we can get both ends of the stick for this. A couple ground rules. First is IBUs.
IBUs? What's that?
So glad you asked. IBUs, for those of you playing along at home, are individual bitterness units and can be universally translated out to how bitter a beer is going to be, or how hoppy a beer is. And second off, we're going to be also talking about ABV, or alcohol by volume. Pretty much, how drunk is this beer going to get you? Let's move right along into our first beer, Kalamazoo Stout, offered by Bell's Brewing Company, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Am I supposed to be smelling it?
You can do that. It's not going to hurt. Well, Trevor gets a face full of beer. Bell's Brewing Company is more or less the the king of the craft beer community in the Midwest, and especially Michigan. Founded by Larry Bell, they've put out a lot of really good beers, this being one of them. This is one of their flagships. So, Trevor, do you like the smell of that beer?
It smells like beer to me.
Yep. Stouts often smell a lot like coffee and chocolate, this being no stranger. The individual bitterness units, IBU, we're just going to call it IBU from here on out because you try saying that 5 times fast, is 51.
Is that a lot?
Well, by a measuring stick, Budweiser, the king of beers, regular old Budweiser is 15. So this is a lot hoppier by comparison. Well, cheers. It's a stout.
This tastes like other dark beers that I've drank before, if that helps you.
This is an American stout and has an alcohol by volume. Again, we're just going to condense it from here on out to ABV of 6. Which, again, by the measuring stick, Budweiser is 5. So a couple of these is going to get you a little bit more of a shine on than just your regular old Budweiser or Miller Lights.
So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and then take anything that with like a range of 15 on the IBU and about a 5 on the ABV is probably going to be kind of what a lot of people would consider to be a weak beer. Is that fair?
More or less. In the craft beer community, anything below or at 5 is also what's referred to as sessionable. More or less because you can sit there and have a whole session of them and be pretty okay. It's a very good my first stout. Don't expect any profound, exotic chocolate notes or Sumatran coffee. It's a stout. That's about the best that can be said for this.
I guess I have to assume that there's no, real coffee or chocolate ever in most of these stouts, so...
Not mostly, no. Some of them do. Oh, actually, quite a bit of them these days do, but, again, another episode. So, there's Kalamazoo Stout. On the overall, out of 5 full beer mugs, I give it a 3. It's solid. It's nothing amazing, but I definitely buy this from time to time to drink at home. And if I saw it on tap, I'd order one.
And out of 5, I would also give it probably about 3 mugs out of 5. It's a more complex beer than, if you're an initiate of the American lager. If you're looking for something a little bit more, this is it.
Our next offering for tonight is the New Holland Cabin Fever Brown Ale. This is an American brown, and being from Michigan, I myself am sort of a large fan of our Michigan beers. But we're going to get to a couple other areas tonight as well. But you are going to be able to expect to see quite a few Michigan beers on this show because I work with what's available. Imagine that. So, right away, it's just a little bit lighter than a stout. It's actually, for a brown, really, really dark. On the IBUs, it's sitting at around 25 at best I can find, because during research for this one, I could not find hide nor hair of an actual solid IBU listing for this beer. Not even on New Holland's homepage. So go ahead, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. I'd love to know exactly what the IBU is on this.
I'd love for somebody to correct them on this too.
Cheers. Let's get right into it. It's actually really good.
The first thing I notice about it is it's just much more watery and less, full than what we were just reviewing.
It's not a stout.
Oh.
It's this being an American brown ale. It's of course going to be a little less dense, a little less thick than a stout. Believe it or not, though, it actually clocks in on the ABV just a little bit higher. This is 6.25, so 6.25, and you wouldn't know it. This is what I'd like to call a dangerous beer. You could drink far too much of this far too fast, because it goes down really easy, and it's actually very, very delicious, especially for an American brown. It's warming, it's refreshing, it's got everything that you want in a brown, but it's got drinkability with it too. Some browns have a tendency to get a little bitter after like one or two of them. You could drink this all night long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a real novice, I'd say that this is an even better introduction to darker sort of beers than what he's used to. I'm really surprised by how quickly and how easily this is drank.
Right. It goes along with its name quite well. If you, like many of us here in Michigan get snowed in, if this is the only thing you got on hand, you're pretty okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that exactly an alive situation.
Full mugs, this gets 4.5 out of 5 on mine. I am not a huge brown drinker, but when I do drink browns, I want them to be like this. This is delicious.
It's got a similar taste profile in terms of bitterness. What I'm going to go ahead and assume is that coffee, dark chocolate thing he's talking about. But it just goes down just crisp and smooth, and it sounds like a pitchman, but I really like this too. I'll go ahead and give it 4 mugs out of 5.
All right, moving right along. Let's pull out the big guns. Avery Hog Heaven.
I'm a little afraid.
You should be.
It's gilded in silver. It seems luxurious. I feel like I might end up paying an awful lot for a beer like this.
Actually, Avery is renowned for having the great balance of an amazing product at a price that's not going to break your bank. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for this, but I know it was under $7. And for a very good large bottle, that can be just fine. This is a self-proclaimed dry-hopped barley wine style ale. Anytime you hear the words barley wine, you should know that you're in for a good high ABV. This is no exception, clocking in at 9.2% alcohol.
Ooh, that sounds impressive.
Yeah, it'll take some hair off your chest, or put it on, depending on who you are. Clocks in on the IBU at 100, so we can pretty much expect this to be pretty potent. And right away, you lift her up, and
I want everyone to see he poured me a little bit less than him, so.
Well,
that's just the kind of guy he is.
I'll give you more. There's a lot left. We have to make it through this.
Yeah, I'm already feeling a little bit redder of face since starting this review.
That'll happen here at Black Shirt Beer Review.
Maybe I'll find some time to come back here more often, though.
It's great escapism, isn't it? Cheers! Ooh. That'll make you roll your shoulders a little bit. It's definitely got a real good hop bite right up in front of it, and you know what you are getting out of this beer. Whereas Cabin Fever is, like I like to say, dangerous because it's too easy to drink too much of it. This is the exact opposite. You can tell that this is 9.2% alcohol.
Yeah, I would compare this to some sort of cleansing product. My mouth feels slightly assaulted compared to the gentle waves that it was receiving from the previous two entries.
But again, being February, it's a great winter beer because, you know, this is definitely going to be something that will warm you up after going out and snow blowing for an hour and a half or, you know, walking the dog through 2-foot-high snow drifts. Like I said, winter beer being the theme, our friends here at Avery out of Boulder, Colorado really know how to deliver a good winter beer because I've never seen this before until these cold winter months, and it's right in the alley. On the full mugs list, I'll probably give this a 3.5. It's pretty abrasive for a barley wine. I like mine to be just a little smoother than this, but it's dry hopped, so you know it's exactly what you're going to be expecting.
Yeah, I guess I would probably actually give this about a 2 mug out of 5 rating. As I said, it's got almost a chemical feel in my mouth. It's correct. Put some hair on your or take it off. But I guess my biggest complaint here is that as the person who's drinking to get a little verschnickered, this seems like if I'm going to be drinking this, I might as well be drinking a cocktail.
Yeah, it's just as good as some cocktails. Now, I've actually kind of been dreading this since the moment I saw this product in stores. And I knew that I would have to give my opinion upon it. Budweiser, Black Crown.
You know, I'll let you snob it up here in a minute, man, but God, as a layman, I gotta tell you, I am sick and tired of all these different Budweiser sort of things that I see out. Nobody's going to remember this. I find the fact that they're trying to pretend that they're like a dynamic beer company is ridiculous. They make Budweiser, and if you're the kind of guy that drinks Budweiser, that's fine. That's an American beer.
Drink what you like.
Drink what tastes good to you. That's fine. But, I mean, it's not a craft brewer. They'll never be a craft brewer.
But God almighty, are they trying to appeal to me?
Oh, my goodness. It's a little sick and honestly a little sad.
But this is the end product of what Budweiser called the Elite 12 or some nonsense like that. They went to 24 of their head brewmasters, said, hey, we need to appeal to the craft brew community, make us something cool. They took 12, they took 12 of them and released them to the general public. And I believe it was actually just 12 packs. I saw them and immediately said, pass. And after America sampled the 12 beers, apparently a bunch of people voted online or in haberdasheries or wherever the hell you voted for this crap. This is what you got, America. This is Budweiser Black Crown. And I know this is a screw top, but
works the same.
Tradition, damn it.
You know, and I think that the possible target of this particular sort of beverage is perhaps the kind of person that's standing somewhere in between me and the Reinaas. Somebody who is a lame man, but maybe they're attracted to that certain level of beer snobbery. And they want to kind of take a step up and say, I like classy beer. I'm a classy gentleman, and they're, because it says Budweiser on the bottle, they're not afraid to be classy.
Now here's one of the interesting facts about this beer. Even though they tried to introduce something with more profile, trying to appeal to the craft beer drinker, they didn't do anything with the IBUs. This is still 15 IBUs. You can expect absolutely no difference in your bitterness than the flagship red label Budweiser.
So it's safe, it's generic, there's nothing really experimental or exploratory here.
And for a beer touting the name of Black Crown, listed as a golden amber lager?
It looks like a piss in these glasses.
First off, I just gotta address that. Golden amber lagers, make up your goddamn mind. What are you, golden or amber? They two don't exist at the same time. You put golden to amber, it just becomes amber. This looks like gorilla piss. It smells sweet. It smells like somebody poured syrup in my glass.
This smells like generic beer to me.
But I'm just gonna break this one down for you. Budweiser uses a lot of corn in their beer, boys and girls, and that's why this stuff smells sweet. Yeah.
It's nothing. Doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like regular beer.
I think I just drank some fizzy air. Is that what happened?
The fact that they're willing to sit here and tell us that this is some sort of special thing, it rocks me to my core. No, it's just really disappointing that they think that somebody's going to fall for this.
I'm sorry. You drink what you like, that's all there is to it, but I cannot stand Budweiser.
Now, this is a man who's on a quest for flavor. If you're on a quest to get a buzz, like most people who are drinking beers...
Don't drink Budweiser anyhow, because it's only 5%. Drink an Avery. Okay. Sorry.
Moving right along.
This is terrible. On the mug scale, 1. If I could give it less, I would. This is just foul.
I'm making up the rules as I go along, so I'm going to give this 0 mugs. There's nothing impressive here, nothing different, nothing. There's nothing here. Nothing!
I'm not going to finish this glass. I wouldn't even cook brats with this beer. It's really that bad. This is bad.
Ooh, sick burn, bro.
That's going to wrap it up for our inaugural episode of Black Shirt Beer Reviews. Again, being the fact that I can only work with what I have available to me, if you feel like you have a beer that you want to get into my hands for me to review, follow the links somewhere down here in the bottom for emailing. We can make that happen, I'm sure. Until then, I'm the Reinaas, and happy drinking. I'm going to put that down.